washed down by the land. Another mother cries cause she lost her son. Ask yourself, yo, where's the love gone? People, we need to unite as one. Tired of been away from home so long. Another brother dies just for what? Ask yourself.
I knew a little prayer once got lost to the streets. I said a little prayer once that ain't said my piece. Often wonder why at 16 did that child have to grow.
I think it is among the first rank of festivals and should be, you know, rightly proud of itself.
I think there's something about combining a kind of local flavour and a kind of community interest and community events with that are self-organised.
I think any festival that's managed to carry on for that long should be proud of itself. Some festivals tend to be a little bit fly-by-night, or they're very much based on, you know, somebody's enthusiasm and then they go away. But I mean, 19 years, and it started, I think, as a very small but determined festival, and it's grown and developed incredibly over the years. I think probably beyond anybody's wildest dreams at the beginning. And I think it's become a language-based festival on par with festivals like the Edinburgh Book Festival and Hay on Wye.
Quite a few different festivals this year, but Off the Shelf is the longest standing one in 19 years, and it's a really good thing for the city, I think, especially because it involves so many people and it engages so many people from different communities, and it's just a really good thing for the city, I think.
I've always been fascinated by Sheffield, and I've always admired it hugely as well. I think it's one of those cities which has experienced the indignity and the integrity of hard work. And I think, you know, like a lot of places that work hard, it plays hard as well. And it's just obvious that there's a real flair for performance here, which is encouraged and fostered by the city itself. So you can see that in its writing, you can see it in its education through the universities, you can see it through drama and theatre, you can see it in sport. It's very apparent in music, it's even there in its politics, I think. Some great sort of theatrical performers in the political world that come from this city. And I think the festival just reflects that.
Aviators. They'd overbooked the plane. At this moment in time, announced the agent at the counter, Rainbow Airlines is offering £100 or a free return flight to any passenger willing to stand down. A small man in a cheap suit and Bart Simpson socks scratched his ankle. £150, she announced 15 minutes later. Nobody moved.
I'm giving a poetry reading, hardly breaking with tradition, although thinking back, when I've attended the festival, I've shown some of the films that I've been involved in making, and I've talked about some of the non-fiction that I've written as well. But no, it's back to basics for me this year. I'm reading from my new book, Seeing Stars, and I'm reading with Peter Sansom and Anne Sansom from the poetry business, and that's great for me as well because Peter was my first ever poetry publisher.
Give me the keys to the cockpit and let's get this baby in the air. So that's my little prayer for the festival, just hoping that the festival gets...
I think one of the really important things for me about it is it's in the north of England. So one of the things over the years I've realised is it's very, very hard to become established as a poet, spoken word artist, performer if you're outside of London. So, you know, we've got the Manchester Literature Festival, Ilkley's been going for, Sheffield, you know, is on the map there with all the other northern festivals, and that's really important to me because there's a lot of really good work going on in the north of England, and there's a lot of talent, and it's good if people can get an opportunity to be showcased, really.
I saw the lunchtime news, and now my arms ache with the dead weight of children, whose bodies, one by one, out of the rubble, I have not carried. My fingers clench against one shoulder and under the bent knees of a dead girl, whose body in pink pyjamas I have not lifted, her head thrown back, her eyes closed against the dust.
It's a bit like a metaphor for what happens to you as a writer in a way. You have to start off small and very determined to make it.
And drifting dandelion seeds count time backwards, replanting me in the red earth of my own beginning. Thank you.
You have to have a passion for what you're doing. And the people who were involved in Off the Shelf at the beginning obviously did have a passion and a belief in what they were doing. And I think as a poet, I feel that I've had to, that's the thing that's carried me through the years, because you certainly don't get a lot of money for it, and it's a struggle to be recognised.
These cats around my in the town, they be business. You hear click click, empty a full clippings to some school kids, it's foolish. And you see how these schools live, rooms with tools for shots to schools, I'm sick of this bull.
We had a really good teacher, standout teacher of the school really, and really enjoyed English first. We really enjoyed her lessons and she really engaged us. And then she introduced us to poetry as part of her an assignment, and it was Seni Seneviratne poem, and from there, since leaving school, we just ran with poetry, but applied it over a beat, so hip-hop. It covers a broad spectrum of social issues. There's, like, we performed Unite as One, which is about people being hurt on the streets due to gun and knife crime. There's a few political tunes on there. There's story tunes about drug misuse, and it follows someone through their life, like different stages of life, and there's a little twist at the end of that one. There's real variety of songs on there.
Gotta do right for his son, got support his baby mum. Life passes him by, he's on the grind marching on. He feels like he sells drugs cause he's got no other means. Social pressure and postal grade still haunt him in his dreams. So we
performed at the Lord Mayor's Children's Festival, and from there we were spotted performing, and we were asked to be put on the front cover. It's a real honour to be on the front cover. I weren't expecting to be on the front cover because I know that Sean was taking quite a few pictures of different people, and I was surprised to be on the front cover, to be honest, but it's good.
I kind of went through the booklet, as I often do, and made a mark of things that I'm interested in going to. I'm interested in going to hear Fatima Bhutto.
I'd be really interested to see Edwyn Collins. Again, something else that's very good about the festival, that crossover between different art forms. I was a huge Edwyn Collins and Orange Juice fan when I was younger. Probably had my hair cut a little bit like Edwyn Collins when I was about 19. Haven't really changed style since. So the fact that he's now writing and talking about his experiences in that business and everything that he's gone through, I'd be really excited about going to that. And also to hear Paul Muldoon, the Irish poet who now lives in America, talking about the correspondence between Robert Lowell and Elizabeth Bishop, two huge poets for me and fantastic letter writers. So, they're two real standout events, I think.
Self-organised community events that go into the brochure alongside bigger events with big names, just sort of to pull those things together and to have that combination, I think is part of what Off the Shelf has to offer.
It's not just a festival where writers come and tell you what they've done and what they think. It's about participation. This really is a festival with an invitation to take part.